Hi, I'm happy to be here with my friend Dino. We're going to be doing another video right now. We're so happy that you've been following us for many years and we read all your comments. And we're very happy that maybe some of these videos might be of service to you in helping you understand your photography. So today we're going to be talking about a body of work that I think most of my fans and friends don't know about. You know, from a very early age, I've been involved with automobiles. My father was a Chevrolet dealer in a small town in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. And from my first memories, I've been involved in the shop and working on cars and studying cars and loving cars. And you know, our Free Motors Incorporated was the name of my father's dealership in Connecticut. And we had the best body shop in the whole area because of one man who was my childhood hero, and he's still my hero. His name is Andy Stoyak, and we're still friends to this day. But he was such an amazing craftsman in my father's shop that we were renowned in the whole area for doing the best work on auto body and auto painting. And I was very inspired by Andy Stoyak, and because of him, I followed the same craft in my life of being a body man and painter. And fortunately, I've evolved into a body man that worked on $1 million automobiles. People would trust me with $1 million automobile to restore the body and then to paint the car. Working on Rolls Royces and Ferraris and Porsches, and right here in my backyard and in my shop. You might remember in my video on tramps that I had a body shop down near the railroad yard so that I could be close to the tramps. And when you try to become a better craftsman and you really love what you're doing and you do your studying and you do your responsibility towards whatever you're doing, sometimes you become an innovator, and that's what I tried to do. And we have some pictures here of this one particular picture is a car that was owned by the King of Spain, King Alfonso, in the 30s. It's a 1931 Rolls Royce. And as an innovator, I designed a system so that when I took a fender off a car, I would make a holding fixture for it out of electrical conduit tubing that I would weld together and affix to the fender on the automobile, so that when I took the fender off the car and did the body work and the paint, when the fender is off the car, the holding fixture was designed to hold the fender in exactly the same position and shape as it was on the automobile, so that after all the painting and body work had been done on the fender, the holding fixture would ensure it that when I put it back on the car, it would not change, because tightening the bolts might make it move a little bit. So the holding fixture is for that particular purpose. And that's me being an innovator in a small way. But that's the respect that I showed on these automobiles, and that's why people would trust me with $1 million automobile. They knew I was careful. I mean, I would take it to an extreme where I'd have the car in my shop, and before I started working on it, I would sit in a chair at night out there by myself just looking at the car and thinking and taking notes. How would I take this door off? And if I took this door off now, what would it mean to the relationship to the front fender and to the rear door or to the other parts of the body? All that had to be thought about and evolved in my mind and straightened out in my mind so that I couldn't make a mistake. I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to scratch anything. I didn't want to create any more damage because of being careless. This was like working in a museum, like an artifact from King Tut's tomb. You don't want to disturb anything. You use brushes to sweep away the dust. That's how careful it was. It's archaeology with automobiles. But it's an entire tremendous respect that I had for the vehicles and the craft, the same way that I have a tremendous respect for the photography. And then one day, with my son, in a junkyard in Fresno, California, that I've been going to for 25 years, we were up there in the summertime. It's a very large junkyard, 85 acres, thousands of cars, most of them very old cars. And I was working out in the sun. It must have been 105 degrees. And I got tired, and I got affected by the heat. And I went back to the car and I turned on the air conditioning and I sat and I closed my eyes and I had a hallucination. And it was unbelievable. I saw this cars all jumbled together and all parts of them all arranged and all in, because I'd been out there most of the day in the heat photographing these different parts of cars. And when I was resting in the car and I closed my eyes, they all came in this hallucination, and it guided my work from that moment on. From that moment on, I started getting too close to the cars. And it started me on a whole different aspect of my work, color abstracts. So my photographs of cars are just not dedicated to me working on the cars and showing the pictures of the cars that I've worked on, but they're also the abstracts of getting too close to the car and seeing different things and making it evolve into a different thing. A whole bunch of fenders might be piled up, or a bunch of hoods that the people in the junkyard have segregated from the rest of the cars to save, a whole area of just hoods. But they were arranged, they were just put there. They weren't arranged for a photographer to come along and photograph them. They were just placed there out of the way. And it's a great teacher for the street photography. As I said before, I have all day, if I wanted to spend on this one photograph, I can get down here and show a little bit more of the window to give more of a clue that it is an automobile. Or get away from that chrome bumper that's too shiny and might distract the viewer. And using the color, the faded paint, the cracked paint. And all this is to make my street photography better, but also to be involved with cars, because that was a big part of my life and it's in my blood, and I want to show cars in a way that you will get something out of it, so that you might share some of my love and the fascination for these vehicles that have meant so much to me. So I apply my street photography to the cars. No posing, no moving any parts, no setting anything up. And you know, for many years I've been working with Dino, and he's my manager now, and he represents me, and he knows every photograph I've ever made. And he's the only person that I've ever trusted over the years to handle all my photographs. And he picks out the photographs that we use in all the videos and arranges them and uses the video to help promote my photography with the idea of helping other photographers. That's what my passion is.